Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and this is going to be edited. Oh yes, I did say it was all equal opportunity nudity around here, and if you thought that Mr. David Cage wasn't going to get Carla out and about, well, you're sorely mistaken. Although, I don't have to do too much editing though, primarily because of either some choice camera angles, like right there, thank you, Forfeit, for doing a bit of editing for me. But, yeah. I'm not really too sure what YouTube's guidelines on nudity is. I mean, I'm pretty sure so long as it isn't straight up porn, it should be alright, but at the same time though, I'm not gonna take my chances, because, I mean, there's an equal amount of chance that, you know, the game might flag it as like some fucking, like, early 2000s DeviantArt-esque Windows Vista 3D hentai kind of bullshit, so, yeah, just trying to play on the safe side here, really, so, yeah. Cutscene go now.
Just a girl.
Sure took you time.
I was in the shower. What do you got?
I got nothing. Dead end. Impossible to ID the page marker found in the book from the restaurant. It's got a series of numeric codes written on it, but it just looks like a lot of numbers to me. I thought you might have some ideas.
Why don't you fax it to me? I wasn't tired anyway. I'm sure it'll make for good bedtime reading.
Okay, I'll send it now. If you get any brainstorms, give me a ring. I'll be here for a while. Tonight's gonna be a long one.
Okay, talk to you later, Tyler.
So that's pretty much the short and sweet of it here, really. We've had Tyler's day in the life, we've had Lucas's day in the life, and now we have Carla's, as, you know, we pretty much wander about her apartment. Pretty fucking lavish place, really, but then again, that might just be down to her sense of decor. In the meantime, though, let's get dressed, because, I mean, quite frankly... Well, I mean, then again, I don't really know from experience, but, nah. Actually, I mean, especially not in this weather, I don't think any woman would be dressed that sort of, you know, free and easy. Well, I mean, then again, she did just get out of the shower, so maybe that's the reason why, but, yeah, I mean, at a time like that, unless, of course, you got indoor heating, whew, yeah, put something nice and warm on, lass. But, in the meantime, though, yeah, something that is also, you know, going on, apart from a day in the life of Carla here, really. There's also continued investigation into, you know, the Diner murder and also linking it to the Kirsten case. In this case specifically, it's more looking into, you know, what Lucas's whole angle in all this is, and, yeah, this specifically relating to, well, the torn bookmark. Pretty much just trying to make a link towards, anything tangible, and, yeah, as we're gonna get towards the end of this, this pretty much means that Lucas is gonna be up shit creek and having to use his tongue as a paddle. But yeah, all that aside though, we do get to enjoy the ambience of Carla's apartment, and yes indeedy, this is Carla's theme song right here, played on her little record player. Cause she's just a girl, just in case you weren't convinced you were playing as a female character. I'm being a wee bit facetious though, but I mean this is actually a pretty snazzy song. I happen to quite enjoy it. Citizen Cage. Because he just couldn't resist. But yeah, like, I mean, a nice little detail like that. You don't really get too much on Carla sort of ruminating about her life and interests. I suppose since she is mostly, you know, sort of heavily involved with the police force and, you know, sort of married to her work, but, yeah, like, I mean, you do get to see, you know, the whole idea that she is, well, judging by the posters anyway, a bit of a film buff. You know, guess she has a nice collection of music and whatnot, and, yeah, one thing you can actually pick up a little bit earlier on in the game, or, well, something that you'll probably be seeing a bit later on in this part, is that she actually does have a neighbor/good friend, Tommy, who, again, as the email also implied, is going to come over and visit. And, he also happens to work in a bank, and gives Carla lots of hugs and kisses. Oh, dearie me, we might be in for some stereotypical antics, as I finagle around Carla's, cupboards and laugh at her... What the fuck is that even meant to be? Is that like Chinese takeaway, or is that like ramen noodle boxes that she has stocked up because she can't be bothered cooking for herself most times?
What could that be at this hour?
I mean, she did order a pizza, but I mean, it looks like this woman, you know, as requirements for her job and fitness and whatever, seems to eat fairly well, so, yeah, I guess this might just be the rare exception of one of those long, lengthy nights of, investigating. But yeah, Tommy's here, so we're just sort of keeping him waiting as we continue to fart about, because, yeah... when he shows up, you can't really interact with much else, so, yeah, let's go off and welcome our dear old friend, who will hopefully not be subject to David Cage's weakness in the writing department. That is, in terms of writing for minorities and, other assorted groups.
I was feeling kind of bored, and thought as my official friendly neighbor you'd agree to share my boredom. And this excellent bottle of French Chablis.
In my capacity as your friendly neighbor, I wouldn't think of refusing your boring invitation or your excellent wine, Tommy.
I imagine that even a die-hard bachelorette like yourself must have some wine glasses around here somewhere.
I think I do have some. Somewhere. Sit down, Tommy. I'll find him.
So, yeah, this is Tommy, Carla's gay best friend, because as we all know, plenty of career-driven single women have one of those, and, yeah, there is one thing I will say about Tommy. He's portrayed fairly well in this game. Like, I mean, to be honest, I was sort of expecting it to go partially parodial in the sense of, like, oh my god, yes! You know, in completely stereotypical fashion, but Tommy actually does end up coming across quite well, compared to something like the 2018 Insomniac Spider-Man 2 game, which did have the aforementioned, yes, queer gay guy, in complete seriousness.
A toast?
Alright. What to?
To love! What else?
I'll drink to that. How are things at work?
Pretty good. This month I'm number 2 on my investment team in terms of annual profit. Not bad, huh? It gets on some of my coworkers' nerves. I've heard them bitching behind my back. What the hell with them? I'm doing what I like.
I'm happy to see you got your smile back.
We all have our ups and downs, right? I always thought that people in New York didn't give a damn about gayness. They were so enlightened. How wrong I was. They still look at us as being different from so-called normal folks. Are you still single? What's a beautiful girl like you waiting for? Go find yourself a nice guy. If there's one thing New York has lots of, it's handsome men.
I don't know. I guess the desire's just not there. My last romantic experiences were total disasters. I'm not ready for anything, or anyone just yet.
Enough small talk. Look at what I brought.
Tarot cards?
I'm going to read your future.
You mean you know how to use those things?
My grandmother was a psychic. She taught me how to read the cards when I was just a kid. She handed down her seeing powers to me. It really works, you know? What the cards foretell always come to pass. Let's see if you're going to meet your true soulmate, or if you're going to die as a wrinkled old maid.
Okay, Mr. Gypsy. Tell me what I'm supposed to do.
It's easy. First, take the cards and mix them up.
Oh yes, now we're finally going to challenge Tommy to a duel. But be forewarned, Tommy, this is a shadow game, where once Carla is done dueling you, then we shall attain your soul! But on a serious note though, yeah, this section is, well, a bit of a middle finger, because again, you're pretty much gonna lose mental health points regardless, but, yeah, it's really just more so there to foreshadow parts of the game. Not that Tommy really has anything too much relevant to the plot at large later on, but, yeah, he does come in handy a little bit later on in this segment, but, yeah, that's pretty much the end of him. He doesn't really have special powers, as was implied by Agatha or anything.
There's going to be a dark period, an escape, and terrible danger. Take 2 more cards. You're not alone. You're following someone, and he is disturbing. He hides a heavy secret. Take 2 more cards, please. There is a curse, great suffering and fear. I see dark death and distress. Yes, just come to me whenever you need cheering up. Seriously, I'm sorry, Carla. This is not turning out to be as much fun as I thought.
It's okay, Tommy. Let's see what horrors my destiny holds for me. Here are 2 more cards.
one child, two destinies, a path toward life, the other path toward death. Carla, I think we'll stop there. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. It's the first time I've ever read this sort of thing in the cards. Usually don't express anything like this.
Don't apologize, Tommy. It's just a silly game. I never believed in fortune-telling anyway.
Well, I've got to get home. It's late. Good night, Carla.
Good night, Tommy. It was real nice talking. Don't wait so long next time, okay?
I promise.
Well, thank you, Tommy, for that miserable evening. Now, like every career-driven single woman who has nothing left to live for in life, I'm gonna help myself to the wine and the spirits, while listening to Just a Girl, so I can listen to my featherweight curls, reminiscing about a life lost in mediocrity.
I don't believe in this stuff.
But yeah, to talk about the tarot cards here and there, like, I mean, the cards are pretty much fixed. Like, no matter what order you choose them in, Carla will always get the exact same ones, which, I mean, I suppose she'd sort of have to, given the fact that it's meant to hint towards, well, you know, events yet to happen in the game, so yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote in that aspect. But yeah, regardless, you are pretty much going to lose a lot of mental health, so it's pretty much in your best interest to save any interactions with Carla's apartment until a little bit afterwards. So again, if you want to regain mental health, grab a slice of pizza, watch TV, have a lie down in bed, and of course, you know, get on with the plot and solve more of the case, and yeah, Carla's mental health should boost up pretty good. But yeah, all that aside though, not really too bad of a segment. You get to see like a nice little slice of Carla's life, and yeah, in terms of Tommy's portrayal of, you know, the stereotypical gay man, there are traits there, like the whole, oh my god, people in 2005 don't accept gayness. I don't know. I mean, I say it's stereotypical, but I mean, I think nowadays it's kind of gotten a bit worse with that sort of thing, because, like, I mean, back in the day, like, the whole thing of, like, oh my god, there's a spark in your hair, you know, was seen as, like, you know, completely fucking stereotypical and not how actual gay people act, but nowadays we have, like, complete fucking, yes, done in complete seriousness, which is, seems kind of a bit ass backwards to me.
There is one dish that is better than roast chicken, and that's duck meets the potatoes. Excellent. It's wunderbar. The most difficult part is for catching the little duck. I show you how. Come see here, ducky ducky. Don't be shy. Your potatoes are in the oven. Come to Papa, little ducky. Quack, quack.
We have a strong cold front moving our way, coming down from Canada, bringing with it heavy snow and very windy conditions all down the coastal region. The temperatures are several degrees below normal for this time of year. Let's take a look at the satellite view of this front.
500 channels and nothing on. But yeah, not really too much else to sort of do. It's just having a wee bit of a wander around, regain some mental health points, and yeah, somewhat sadly, compared to Lucas and Tyler, where you could at least sort of look at and interact with certain objects, you don't really get to do that much with Carla's possessions. Like, I mean, the one sort of like a childishly girlish thing that she seems to have to her, you know, she has some stuffed animals. It would have been cool to see her comment on, like, her movie posters, or, I don't know, some of her toys on the desk over there, but no, you don't really get to sort of hear her own insights into her personal life, which is kind of a shame, really. I mean, you do get to, I guess, sort of interact with her television and, you know, have a talk with Tommy, I suppose, but yeah, it would have been nice to get a little bit more insight into Carla personally. But sadly, the game never really does that. And then again, that could either be just down to the development cycle or just down to, you know, a bit of a lack of forethought on the developer's part, but I don't know. It would have been nice to at least get a little bit more background as to why Carla's so career-driven, and, well, I mean, I suppose part of the reason why she hasn't really thought, you know, more about her personal life if her conversation with Tommy was anything to go by. But I don't know, I mean, she does, I mean, again, the game implies that she does have something of a social life, so she's not a complete sort of you know, an isolated basket case, for to kind of put it in very inelegant terms, but, yeah, it's just kind of a bit of a shame of development here, really. By the way, this is, yes, Omicron the Nomad Soul Part 1, a film trilogy that I was, basically the internet article that I was talking about earlier, where David Cage is like, oh yes, I'm pleased the film, it was so great with audience, but it was trashed by critics, mirroring the real game, and he gets to hang out with Jackson Peters, because by God, ego, emotional, the ego. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of fucking ridiculous, really. I do wonder though, like, I mean, again, is Omicron the Nomad Soul available for anything? I think it might be abandonware these days, unless of course you're going for, you know, to look for the Dreamcast version of the game, but, yeah, the PC version might be available somewhere. I might have to do more research into it, but, remains to be seen whether it's actually good or not. But in any case, so, let's switch to Tyler and get some investigating going on. Enough faffing about.
Normally, I don't like leaving Sam home alone, especially now. But this bookmark had me intrigued. I had a gut feeling that I was holding the key that would identify our killer. I felt like I was closing in on him, and I wasn't about to go home to sleep until I figured out what this paper meant.
And in Tyler's case, you can actually get this solved pretty quick smart read, really. Again, you look at the banknotes, and, well, as we're going to be seeing as we look towards the newspaper, serendipity here, really. Well, I mean, first of all, after of course, we fax, because yes, this was 2005. Yeah, fax the banknotes towards Carla, and have a little look here.
Oh, man, nothing but stock quotes. How can anyone possibly decipher these things? Wait a minute. That's it. I gotta call Carla right away.
Aha, truly we have solved the mystery. But yeah, as I mentioned beforehand, it is kind of in your best interest to sort of get all of Tyler's, well, tasks kind of done out of the way right here and there, because, again, as implied beforehand, you know, leaving Sam home alone, you know, late in the middle of the night, Tyler doesn't get to, well, okay, he could go home and sleep, but, you know, he's intrigued by the case just as much as Carla is, so, yeah. Needless to say, part of the reason why you want to go through here is that you lose pretty much 20 mental health points every time Tyler yawns, you know, implying that he's a tired young lad. And, again, the things you can do to restore your mental health only amount to about 5 mental health points, you know, getting a drink of water, getting a drink of coffee, and, of course, playing with his basketball. So, yeah, the only reason you have to come out here is pretty much just to, you know, get a bonus card, which pretty much, you know, amounts to you getting a whole bunch of bonus goodies in the extras menu. But, yeah, all that aside, though, it's, yeah, in your interest to basically just sort of, you know, fax the, you know, stock quotes that, you know, you already had as the evidence in the bookmark. Then look at the newspaper so you get a little bit more mental health back, and then pretty much switch back to Carla where she can pretty much take care of the rest. Because again, now that she also has the idea of, you know, the fact that the bank quotes actually mean something, Tommy works in the bank, she puts 2 and 2 together, and squadala, Tommy has relevance to the plot. So yeah, that's,
It's a list of stock
I don't know.
Carla, our bookmark.
Again, it's a very functional chapter, but by that same token, I do also wish I had a little bit more, you know, Carla-centric stuff, for lack of a better phrase. I am sort of repeating myself here, but again, I think it does bear repeating that, I mean, it would have been cool to, you know, learn a little bit more about her. I mean, we learn a little bit more about Tyler's background in the sense that, you know, he grew up around, like, you know, a lot of gang violence and whatnot. You know, we know his interest in, like, basketball, you know, we know a little bit more about his romantic life. Carla, on the other hand, tends to suffer a little bit more from that, in the sense that, again, she is career-driven, but, again, apart from her friendship with Tommy, we never really learn how they met, or, you know, anything of the sort, so... Yeah, I mean, it kind of just comes across that she gets a bit of the short end of the stick, which is kind of weird, really, because, I mean, like, Tyler gets the short end of the stick in terms of his development in the sense that the game doesn't really, you know, include a lot of him towards the latter half. Carla gets the short end of the stick in that she doesn't really get developed beforehand, but does play a major role in the latter half, so it's, again, it's what I was saying beforehand, and, you know, not what I was idly saying beforehand with how David Cage... And again, it's a little bit more apparent in games like Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain to some extent, as well as a little bit of Detroit I Am Become Human, in the sense that, again, like, I mean, when he's writing, like, a bit of a main plot or a theme or, you know, emotions, as he's generally memed as to do, you know, he's generally focused on sort of creating big spectacle events, but when it comes to sort of developing the nitty-gritty of his characters, he tends to treat them more as set pieces as opposed to, well, you know, people we're meant to invest in, which is a little bit difficult, because, I mean, I'm not going to say that, you know, Lucas completely escapes this either, so again, it's not just purely like a race or gender thing. It's just the fact that, you know, he's really looking to create emotion, as opposed to looking into some of the smaller moments, really. Which, again, like, scenes like, you know, Carla milling about her apartment, you know, eating food, watching television, that's what that sort of stuff builds up, really. I mean, again, like, to kind of use another famous moment from Detroit, I Am Become Human, again, the whole Connor line of, I like dogs. Again, that's stuff that builds character a lot more than, you know, any scene of emotion ever would. Because, you know, that's genuine emotion built up from characters interacting, as opposed to, you know, emotion designed from the filmmakers trying to make a statement. Which, I mean, again, it's not to say that there isn't, you know, a time and a place for, you know, grandiose ideas and symbolism. It's just that, you know, you need to sort of build that with characterization, you know?
I'm really sorry to bother you, Tommy.
No problem. I wasn't ready for bed yet anyway. What can I do for you?
It's about one of my investigations. I thought maybe you could help me with a question I have. I was wondering, is there a way to identify a bank from a list of stock quotes that they've printed?
Normally, yeah, banks always use watermarked paper, which shows the bank's ID code.
The ID code is printed on a watermark? All right, I'll check our document to see. Thanks, Tommy. Good night.
Night, Carla.
There we go. Tommy, you have officially escaped from David Cage's, poor writing disease. I mean, it certainly turned out better than Jason Mars at any rate, so, I'll just leave it at that if I ever end up covering Heavy Rain. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a back-and-forth game of telephone between, Carla and Tyler as I sort of work out the case here, really, so, yeah, not really too bad, as Carla sits there and lets her life pass her by. But yeah, needless to say, this entire chapter is pretty much just sort of here to set up not only the fact that, you know, the noose is closing in around Lucas, and in turn, well, yeah, Lucas and Carla's fates are intertwined. But how could this be? Since this is David Cage who's all about the movies, could they be setting up a romance? Well, certainly not. I mean, surely Lucas and Tiffany are getting back together, and as we all know, the broken up couple always gets back together instead of splitting apart so that the main goody-goody heroine gets with the goody-goody hero and everybody gets goody-goody gumdrops. Except for me. For I have no goodeth gamdraps. But yeah, it's pretty much here where Tyler does like one more bit of investigation. Pretty much doing the same sort of thing you were doing when you were examining the Tempest book in Takeo's bookstore. Get a magnifying glass, turn the lights on, and pretty much look for, you know, any sort of watermark. In this case, looking for the Nazar and Jones bank watermark that Lucas works for. And, well, yeah, coming up in the next part, Lucas is gonna get an interview! But not on TV, with the police. The worst kind of interview. Oh, actually, I mean, I say that's the worst kind of interview. The worst kind of interview is probably still a job interview. Probably because you will never actually fucking get anything, 9 times out of 10. But on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, and I'll catch you dudes and dudettes next time. Bye-bye.
I think I found it.
Tyler?
I've got the code. You should have no trouble identifying which bank it corresponds to.
This time we've got our killer. I think I'll pay a little visit to the bank tomorrow.
You want me to go?
Okay, you go. We'll meet afterwards at the station and go over it all. See you tomorrow, Tyler.
See you tomorrow.